Well, welcome to my channel. My name's Dawn, I'm the Reclusive Crafter, and today I've got a little project going on for my Alice journal. I have already made a start on it because if I didn't, it would actually take far too long for a video. So what I've done initially, I've made 4 little pockets. I'm going to show you how to make a 5th one, and they are literally just that. Look, they're just little pockets with the playing cards on the front, and I've backed them with, well, I've layered the backing basically just to give them a little bit more interest. And I'm about to make a 5th one, and I'm going to show you how to do that, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing with them. Okay, so to start with, what you're going to need to make an individual pocket, you need a piece of paper that's 8 inches in depth and 3 1/4 inches in width, and then the little layered bit is 3 3/4 in depth. These are inches, by the way, and 2 1/2 inches in width. Okay, and then obviously whatever you're going to decorate them with, whether that's cards or you choose your own decorations, that's entirely up to you. Okay, now what you want to do initially is you want to be scoring at 1/4 inch on both of the long sides. Okay, so that's 1/4 inch there, and it's typical, isn't it? I've just come onto camera and I've got a tickle in my throat again. Okay, and we want to be 1/4 inch on that side as well. Okay, so we're just going to pop that out of the way for now. How are you all doing for Monday? Hope you're all good. And I'm just going to crease up those folds initially, but then I'm going to, by the way, I am using misprints to do this with as well. Using up all my misprints. This was the bit I explained to you that was a kit that I wanted, but when I actually printed it all off, it looked awful, so I didn't use it in the end. Okay, so I've creased up those little edges. I'm going to unfold that, and now I'm just going to fold the 2 end pieces together, so the bottom to the top, and we're going to put a crease along there. All right, now the reason I'm doing that is because I want to be able to see where these creases are, and what I will do, I'm just going to ink those creases so that you can see a little bit better what it is I'm up to. Okay, and I will be inking all the way around this anyway. So again, I'm just going to ink that down so that you can see what I'm doing or vignette. Okay, so once you've got it folded up like that, just get a little pair of scissors, and you want to miter all 4 of the corners just up to the score line. Okay, so just go up to the score line and miter it down, and do that on all 4 corners. You don't have to be too precise about it, as long as you don't cut over score lines. Okay, so you'll end up with that. So basically a little rectangle with the 4 corners cut off. Then when you open that up, you've got that, and what we're going to do now is we're going to remove these 2 sections here just on the one side. So this side we're going to keep these bits, on this side we're just going to remove those. And I find the easiest way to do that is if you pop a ruler into the crease. If you've got a craft knife, just bring the craft knife down, or you can just snip them off using scissors if you find that easier to do. I know some people don't like using craft knives. Let me get my bits out of the way. And again, I'm just going to pop that ruler just up into the crease so that I know where it is, and I'm just going to run my craft knife down, and that's that. Okay, so that's that bit done, and now we want to fold these little bits in, and we want to glue them down. So we're going to pop a little bit of glue on there, not too much because we don't want it splurging into the pocket itself. Just going to take that up to that edge there. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what's going on with my throat at the moment. I don't know if it's hay fever or what the devil it is, but it's absolutely driving me to distraction. I feel okay in myself. I don't feel poorly or anything. So it's a bit of an odd situation, but hey ho, mustn't grumble, must we? Okay, we're now going to fold that up like so. Okay, just make sure that's marrying up nicely like that. And I'm just going to take that little bit off there. If you do need to trim, if it does come over a little bit and you do need to trim, just make sure you don't cut off your folded section, because otherwise your pocket won't be closed. Just very carefully going along there, because I can see that and I don't want to. So literally I've just taken off the tiniest little slither there without cutting into the pocket, one would hope. All right, now the next bit is always optional. If you want to put a thumb notch in, do so. I just like thumb notches. I think they finish things off nicely when you're doing pockets. And I'm probably going in about, I don't know, what would you call that, about 1/4 of an inch there, maybe ish. Doesn't need to be perfect or exact. Oh, well, it's just as well it doesn't need to be perfect. That was really centralized, wasn't it? I'm going to go over and I'm just going to rectify that a little minute. That was tragic, wasn't it? That's a bit better. Goodness me, that was awful. Right, so we've got that bit done. I'm going to throw some ink round. Again, inking is always optional. And I like to have the folded edge on the top. I just think it just gives a neater finish. Personal opinion. Obviously, if you disagree, you can do what makes you happy. And then we're just going to come around with a little bit of ink around there. Okay, so that's that one done. And then your top layer, I've already put my little what do you call it, thumb notch, which I'm going to have to do again because I messed up my first one, so I need to mess up my second one now. Oh, it's always when you're on camera, isn't it? Don't you just love it? I'm just going to take that off there just to marry that up a little bit. That's better, isn't it? Goodness me. Oh, it's almost better. It's better than it was when it wasn't as good as it is now. Actually, I might just take a little bit more off of that. Oh dear. Goodness. Do you know, I've done 4 of them and they all went swimmingly. Let's just take that tiny little slither off there. How does that work? Yay! Got there in the end. Perseverance and all that. Okay, and again, I'm just going to throw a little bit of ink round because I can. I've not done this before, by the way. This was just a little idea that I had. I was thinking about, and this might give you an idea of what I'm doing. I was thinking about cards, and when you're playing cards, how you have them fanned out in your hand. And I was trying to think of a way I could utilize that in the journal. So this is why I came up with this idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but we shall see. If it doesn't work, you can have a good laugh. And if it does work, well, who knows? Maybe you'd like to use it in your own journal. I've seen other things sort of similar, but not done like this. So I think with crafting, everything is kind of just a variation of what's been achieved previously, isn't it? I think I said that the other day as well. There we go. So that's my layer on. Got my layer on, and now I'm going to put my little old king here, like so. Oops. Getting a bit handy with my glue gun. Sorry, there we go. Alrighty, let's move all that out of the way. And we're going to pop him on there. Okay. Now, because I've been a bit overzealous with me, what do you call it, my thumb knot, she's gone over there a bit, but it's okay. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with that. And now I'm going to put him into place. So the way I've got these sort of organised is I chose to have the 4 suits, which are those ones, and they're, oh, that's supposed to be on top. So I chose to have the 4 suits like so, and then the 5th one I just did to marry up with the first one, and I did it in black. Basically, that's the only reason I chose the Ace of Spades. All right, so we've got Ace, King, Queen, Jack, and then the Ace of Spades just to marry up with that, just to give it a little bit of symmetry, I guess you would call that. All right, what we want to do now is we want to put them all together. And one thing I didn't grab was I didn't grab any of these, and I'm going to need them. Okay, and then pin them together so that they don't move. I think just that one should be enough, I would hope. Okay, and now I am going to try and punch a hole through there. So there's various ways you can do this. You can use an awl and poke it through, or if you're very lucky and you've got crocodiles or any other form or mechanism to use, you can use whatever you want to. I'm going to use, if I can remember how to use it, because it's been a long old time since I've used this. We're going to go with that one. Okay, so this is a big old crocodile. These are brilliant for if you've got quite hefty things to go through. The other thing you could do, and this is just an idea, is you could just measure in where you want your hole to go on each individual one, but you would need to be quite precise as to where that goes, because all of the holes need to be in the same place. All right, so I'm going to come over there, and I want to, the only thing with this is I can't actually see where that is. Right, I'm going to go in, oh gosh, I say I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in there and hope for the best. Sorry if my head gets in the way, peeps. Right, I'm going to go in about there, I reckon. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness me, I can't even get it through. Oh, I just shot myself. Oh, I'm sorry if that scared you. It scared the blooming life out of me. Wow, that went through with a bang, didn't it? Jeepers. God, nearly had a coronary then. Oh dear. Right then. Once you've pulled yourself back off the seat of the infos, God, that was hilarious. I'm just going to find a brad that's going to be big enough. I just want to put a brad through those. I've got a box of all different sizes here. I'm just going to find the best one to fit, and I think probably that one. Yeah, that's quite chunky, isn't it, really? Right, I'm just hoping this is going to work okay and that it's not going to end up being too chunky, because that would be a bit sad if it was too chunky, wouldn't it? Right, I'm going to pop my brad in there, and I'm going to try and open it up. There we go. Okay, just turn it round so that you can open it up without it. And you don't want to do it too tight, because obviously these things will need to move. But just open that up like so. Okay. Now then, in theory, they should now all spin on the same one. I'm missing one. Where's it gone? It's there. It's got stuck behind. Blooming heck, I thought I'd forgotten to put one on there then. Okay, so they now spin out like so. Okay, as if you were holding them in your hand in a sort of game of cards almost. All right, so that's what we've got. And what I want to do is I want to put these in here. So I'm going to be popping those in there like so. So I want to just, I'm only going to be gluing. In fact, I'm not even. Yeah, I'm just looking to see how I want to do this. To see how best to have it laying. I think I might just glue that bottom one there. And then they will splay out like so. Okay, and then you can close them up or open them up as you want to, which is kind of cute, isn't it? So I'm going to glue that bottom one down. If I can find my glue, it's there. I'm sure there are more ways of doing this than I'm doing it, but this is how I'm doing it. Okay. Right then, I'm just going to close those up for now, just while I glue this one down. And I want that to go in about there. Now, as you can see, that's quite chunky. Let me give you a measurement, because if you're putting these into, or if you're doing something similar in your own journals, you might like to use thinner papers. So I've actually used 160 GSM for the pockets, and then I've just layered them with ordinary printer paper. I think it's about 100 GSM for the printer paper, but that is a good, where are we? I would say, if I could see, let me see. So that's about there. That's a good half to 3/4 of a centimetre in depth. So it's a good little chunky piece. Okay, just hold that in place because I just want to make sure that it does hold. And then, as you see, that then folds out like that. But what now I'm going to do, what now? What I'm doing now is I am going to be putting if I can find me O's, come on, I am putting little tags from the kit into each one of these, like so. Okay, and then each one of them will have a little tag, and it's just a little interactive piece there for you. That's cute, isn't it? Really nice. I really like that, actually. That's come out better than I thought it was going to. And then that'll close up. Now, that's not going to really get any fatter because the tags are relatively thin, and because you've allowed for that gusset in the pocket, it's not actually going to add any depth because you've already got the width of the depth of the gusset inside the pocket anyway, which will actually be slightly less than the tag is, so it's not going to add any further bulk to what you're doing. Okay, so there we go, folks. So that's that one done. Very cute. Happy with that. Little thing to play with in your journal. Okay, so that's that one. Now, I suppose what we could do is we could butt something up there, maybe, to stop them going any further round, but I personally don't think it's necessary. I think they are fine and dandy just as they are. I like those. I think that's really nice, actually. I'm going to leave that one up there, that one down there, and I'm going to start embellishing them and doing things with them. So there we go. So that's today's little project. I just thought I'd come on and show you that one. I've had that in my head for the last couple of days. I think I am going to go ahead and decorate this top one. I don't think I'm going to with the others because I think they are what they are. And I do think they're very nice, actually. And maybe just put something on there. Oh, I know what would look nice on there. Where is she? Let me just give you a quick idea. Here we go. I have got a different sized Alice. I think I will put an Alice on there because there's only one of her and she'll be going on the ace. Perfect. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going now, leaving you in peace. I'm going to finish this off, get all my little bits and pieces in, and I will see you all for No Waste Wednesday. No Waste Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a little bit more of my ideas book, but if there's anything that can go into my journal and go into the ideas book, I'll try and combine the two if I can as well, because that kills two birds with one stone and it stops you getting bored. Okay, I'm gone now. I will see you all Wednesday. Enjoy your week, people. Take care. Bye.